Hi everyone, welcome to action step number 8. We're looking at day 18 of our 30-day personal brand growth plan. And if you're wondering why we're calling it action step 8, is because we're now in the second stage of our 30 days. So we looked at the first 10 action steps of the Brand Yourself action plan, and we're now in the second set of action steps, and they're from the Brand Yourself the Expert training package. And then we'll be looking at the last 10 days, which is Brand Yourself the Authority. So here we are at day 18, and we're looking at deciding your signature business model. And so we have covered some of these topics just briefly, and so I'm going to touch on them, but I'm also going to share a really clever secret and something that most people don't think about when they think of business models. So hang around, because I think it is almost the most valuable piece of advice that I will give any client that I've ever spoken to. So you're kind of on the cusp of this. So okay, so your goal for your personal brand should be to leverage your current professional profile and position your personal brand strategically and systematically to position yourself as the expert in your field, and then beyond that as the... My name is Rachel Quilty. I'm your host for this 30-day personal branding or personal brand growth plan. So I am a brand strategist. I authored the book Brand Yourself about 10 years ago and became recognized as an authority in personal branding, because what I did was recognize that beyond the personal image and professional image of some of the most iconic brands at the time was a really quite significant empire being built, and a lot of business acumen that was supporting the structure of these personal brands. And so I was one of the first people to really unpack these personal brands and recognize some of the big business branding principles that were, underpinning or creating the foundation of these kind of iconic personal brands. So more recently, I have been qualifying myself as a director and filmmaker, and so I've been involved in a lot of short films and mini documentaries and interviews, etc., which is great because it's an excellent skill set, which has lent itself to something that I've been doing with clients for some time, which is creating these show reels, interviews, your sales videos. So that's all something that we've done for nearly, over 10 years now. So if you want some free resources, grab the resource that's at brandyourselfblueprint.com. There's an ebook and a work journal. Any problems, just drop me an email, because we have had some glitches. My mission is to assist you to strategically and systematically build your professional profile, to enable you to leverage your personal brand and position yourself as the authority in your marketplace or field. So one of the things that I will always say, and it's really the one thing that if you leave this training and this is the only thing that you remember, I'll be really happy, because personal branding is a prerequisite to success. If you look at any iconic brand, any iconic personal brand, any empire that's been built, it's usually been it's always been established on the personal brand of an individual. So personal branding is a prerequisite to success. It is the foundation. It happens before your business plan. It happens before your marketing plan. It happens before any plan. So you really need to be thinking strategically how you build your personal brand. And what that's about is getting really crystal clear about what your brand vision and mission is, and what your brand purpose is, and how your previous journey and brand moments has lent itself to your future purpose. So in action step number 8, we're looking at your signature business model. And one thing that I should say is that we look at this for like 2 to 5 minutes, when in reality this is over a 2-hour session. It is a training module that we've taken out of our Brand Yourself the Expert training program. And so I'm kind of giving you snippets of what's important, what you need to be thinking about. And when you're thinking about your signature business model, you need to be thinking about how you're attracting your clients into your business or sales funnel, or your structured sales funnel as you may know it. How you're creating free, low-end, medium, high-end products, what services you're offering, etc. And so with that in mind, you must be thinking about, okay, I need to create a journey for my clients. So we talked about creating a signature client purchasing journey or purchasing pathway. And the idea is to introduce people to your business in a risk-free process. And so each product, as you're creating your business model, and this is why you need to be thinking about your product series, your signature series, your product services, your offerings right up front, and be thinking about, well, what business model lends itself to your product creation and your service creation. So each product or service is a logical and natural progression from the previous offering to the next. And we often say that it should almost be like demanded, or the comment be, oh, thank God you finally delivered something that I needed now. So it's kind of like this offering needs to be so organic in its nature that it's intrinsically demanded. And, you know, you'll often see, actually I won't digress, I'll keep to this because we're on a fairly strict time consideration here. So when we look at the structured selling method, and many of you would be now familiar with the sales funnel, so this is an illustration of that. So the idea is that we try and collect as many people, we try and aim to get very broad brand awareness, and then we develop and trigger our clients or prospects' interests. We educate them around our brand and our offerings, and then we encourage them to shop. So we introduce calls to action, and, you know, then we have them buying and converting, and we're recognizing that. So your business model should be also encapsulating this process as well. So this is something that people often don't do. They'll create a product, and yet what we do know is if we use Google, think with Google, which is really quite powerful tool. If you've done any research on Think with Google, you'll see that there's some really great articles around sales conversions and influencing and your client's purchasing journey. And one of the things that, this is a real little secret, I guess, is that we know that we need to have around 400 touch points, customer touch points or interactions with your brand before we have a conversion or a sale or an engagement that's genuine and where we've really built sufficient rapport and relationship with our clients. So very, very important that we think about our business model, how we're generating a business model that supports this sales structure. And often people will wonder, well, I've got this incredible product or this incredible service, yet I'm not getting sales. How is that? And it's kind of because maybe we haven't introduced our client to our company in a risk-free, like a non-risk adverse manner where they feel comfortable, safe, they're building rapport, they understand our values, they understand our brand. So, and obviously the second part of our sales funnel is one, to introduce them to our business, but also to recognize that there is a lifetime value that our customer represents to our business. And one of the most important things that we can do as a brand is create brand loyalty, natural brand extension. So we talk about our signature brand series, which really is brand loyalty, brand extension. So how do we create or build other products around our signature product that supports expanding our brand? So to maximize your customer's lifetime value, you must move them constantly through your structured sales funnel process, stepping them through one product to the next, relevant and requested. And so if we think about our sales model, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to introduce them to a concept where we're supporting them over a lifetime. So one of the first things we do as part of our Brand Yourself the Expert program is really think about, you know, what is the free product, what's our low price product, medium price, high price, premium price product. So for example, in JumptheQ, we look at our free product, which is the Brand Yourself Blueprint. So that's our free resource, and that's what it is actually a consult that's been converted into a free resource for our clients. So you dive across, you grab that free workbook and work journal, and you're introduced to Brand Yourself Action Plan, which really is our signature product. It's really the foundation of all our other trainings and all our other offerings, and it is one of those things where It was developed after 10 years of consultation. So having clients wander in, ask for this information, ask for this assistance. And what I did is I took a year off and actually sat down and created a method or a management system, or what I call an action plan, to actually support my clients as they went from stage, like really from action step 1 is making that decision, what's your existing personal brand, to 2, you're actually, or step 10, where you actually created this incredible brand and you're now doing an audit on how how you're managing that process. So you can see that's a medium price product. We have a book, Brand Yourself, which is a low end price product. As we get higher, we're looking at the training package. So we're kind of stepping our people through these training packages. And so we're looking at, let me just speak to that. A free product, a low priced, which is a book. We have a membership program. So we have a $97 program. We also have like a $497 per month program. We have our Brand Yourself Action Plan training product, which is about $2,500 generally. And then we have Brand Yourself the Expert, similarly priced, Brand Yourself the Authority, a little bit higher. And then we have Brand Yourself the Celebrity, which is a really premium price product. So let's think about our different business models here. We have direct sales, we have distribution business models, we have franchise models. And look, I do have clients that talk to me about how they can franchise their businesses. And so I work with a franchise consultant, and so we're working hand in hand to try and determine the viability of that type of process as well. Low cost carrier business, loyalty business model, monopolistic business model, multi-level marketing, network effects business model, online auctions, online content business models, premium business models. So I'm just racing through these. You can imagine we spend a little bit of time just talking about them individually. Professional open source, pyramid scheme, our razor and blade business model, which is what we're really talking about, an ascension model, which is where we give a free offering, we introduce somebody to our business. We have subscription-based models, and so you have hybrids of this as well. So, for example, mine has multiple business models kind of incorporated, which is why we talk about it being a signature business model. So, I mentioned the brand extension, brand loyalty, and so we've done that insofar as, like, by the time you've finished Brand Yourself Action Plan, you're ready to develop all this expertise content. You've developed your brand, and then you go, okay, I need to package this. I need to be able to create my authority, become an author, etc. And then becoming the author is really starting to dominate a platform and dominate your marketplace. And then celebrity is really making sure that when you're interviewed, or you have radio interviews or TV interviews, you're ready for those gigs. So you need to be thinking strategically. And so before we move off the business models, the one thing that I do think you need to be thinking about, and this is the gem, I guess, and this is that piece of advice that you need to be thinking about. And we often hear marketing and sales gurus talk about the fact that you need 100 raving fans or 1,000 raving fans. But what if you had one raving fan? And so, when you're cultivating relationships and building rapport, you might be thinking, well, I have to build brand awareness. But what if you can create a JV opportunity where you actually connect with one person and you're introduced to their million plus followers, or their thousands, hundreds of thousands of students and clients. So think about your business model. Like, how are you going to introduce your business and your people to other people? So if you haven't already, grab the free resource, Brand Yourself Blueprint. Like I said, it's a prerequisite for all of our clients. It really gives you a sense of our business. It gives you a sense of our training and our expectations, and the commitment levels that we expect from our clients and our students. So we call it a prerequisite because you know, if you cannot commit to that, then the likelihood of you completing the other training programs is unlikely. So we really have an application process, and we do not allow everyone in. You must complete this work journal. So any problems, any issues, feel free to email me, Rachel@rachelquilty.com or info@jumptheq.com.au, or very simply just leave a comment on the socials. If you're looking